Jonas Brothers dropped their new album, Greetings from Your Hometown. I'm gonna say my 2 cents, and then I'm gonna let the resident Joe Bro fan take over. I'm gonna be so real. I only remember the first song. It left like such a God, this is so 2015 impression on me, where it's like I would hear this every time I go into like a Walmart, or it's like if I'm like walking through a Starbucks or something. I never like drank Starbucks, but if like my friend was like, "Oh, let's go get Starbucks," I'm like, "Oh, I'll get a water." But it's like I would just hear it, out in like department stores, at the pool,
Hmm.
at the beach. Someone's playing it. It's always like off in the distance that I faintly hear it. That sense of familiarity, and that's the point I was bringing up with Joe Jonas's fucking album. You guys need to do more. Do better. You guys are fucking juggernauts in the pop scene. Fucking act like it. Do something new. Do something crazy. This shit could have gone on their last record. Fucking Sunshine whatever the fuck that
The
record was.
album.
That record.
It was called The Album.
The one before that.
Oh, Happiness Begins.
Having the one with What a Man Gotta Do could have gone on the same fucking thing. It just feels like they're just cranking them out because they can. It's like, and it's all good enough. It's not like, oh God, this is a shitty pop song. In the scope of like stereotypical pop music, this is good. It's decent. I need more from them. I think they could do so much better, and I would love to see them do some fucking weird shit. Weird in the scope of pop,
Yeah.
Do something funky. Come on. You have the budget for it. Come on.
That is my gripe with everything post hiatus with Jonas Brothers. We're now 3 records in and several standalone singles, and since they came back,
Solo records.
yes, and all and everything in between, and it just the statement of it's just good enough is just something that rings true. And maybe for me it's partly this nostalgia that I have for these first couple of records. I have a deep love and admiration for especially the self-titled and a little bit longer and a little bit less Lines, Vines, and Trying Times. That record's a little bit out of left field, and honestly them trying something new, which is not something that this band does very often. But that might be part of it for me. Growing up, I listened to those albums. I mean, that's why the tour, which was the one where they did five albums in one night, nothing's really gonna beat that for me. Getting to hear even just snippets of those songs that I listened to countless times growing up. Like I was saying last night at the show, I was like, I want to hear Shelf, Pushing Me Away, Video Girl, or One Man Show in full. Knowing that that's not going to happen. Those aren't the hits off a little bit longer, but those are my favorite songs off the album. Exactly. Believe me, I love Burning Up.
You're tuned in.
Yeah, I love Burning Up. I love Love Bug. But those are the songs I want to hear more than just a snippet of. They obviously didn't fucking play them, but that's definitely part of it. But there is just this overall like, it could be so much better. It was so much better at one point. I do think that, nostalgia aside, those records stand up so much better than the new stuff. And it's just kind of like coming back to put out music just to have an excuse to then go out on the road.
To go on tour. It's just a touring record.
Yeah,
it's not like an actual passion record.
Yeah, and there was some fucking interview that they did, because they've done 7 bajillion interviews, and I've been looking in the subreddit.
Where's ours?
Where's ours? Guys, come on the podcast. I know
I just shit on your record.
We're not talking very highly about it, but let's chat anyway. Would be ultimate bucket list for me. I would shit my pants. But something about how like they're a performance band, not a studio band, which I feel is kind of copium for we don't write great songs anymore.
Shit sandwiches,
like we don't need to chart because we're just gonna go tour and we can do the tickets, which is fine. Like, to be at a point in your career where you don't have to chart to do the tickets is great, but at the same time they had to downgrade a bunch of their stadium shows to amphitheaters because they weren't doing the stadium number tickets on the tour.
Nostalgia didn't win this time.
Well, it wasn't a nostalgia baiting tour. This is just this is just a 20-year anniversary tour, which I think they should have saved the album plays for this run, but
they got too excited.
I digress. all of that aside, I think this is the strongest post-hiatus record that we've gotten. I really have not enjoyed or appreciated much of what has come out of their post-hiatus record songwriting abilities. There are some songs off of Happiness Begins that have grown on me, especially getting to hear them live. I do think that the songs overall, across the board, all three of these now post-hiatus records all kind of translate better live. The energy and the people around you being into it, even if I'm not personally super into it, and the band, you know, doing their thing, it translates a little bit better live, because they are just kind of mindless listen, feel good type things, which is essentially what they're going for at this point, which is fine. There's a market for that, obviously. I think that this is the strongest. I think that it's not the entire record, but I think that there are portions of this album that are reminiscent of their previous works, mainly, honestly, a little bit longer, because that's like the most pop leaning of their early work. You had like a couple of pop punk rock records, the pop punk, and then like this weird pop country thing that they did with Lines, Vines, and Trying Times. So there are some sensibilities of older works, as well as of Happiness Begins, which is not nearly as bad as the album was. That record is just shit sandwich on top of shit sandwich, just shit all piled on a sandwich. So there are moments on this record that I like. It took a second listen for me to kind of, all right, I listened to it once, not much resonated with me. Let me go, and that's what my first listen was. Like, I did not come away with much of anything.
I remember the first song.
I did not come away with much of anything. So let me go jam this again. This was a record that I luckily had a chance to get a second listen to, and I like I Can't Lose. I think it's a very strong opener. I think it's one of the strongest songs the band has had in a minute. You know, they've got the massive songs Cool and Sucker and things like that off of the first post-hiatus record, Happiness Begins.
Sucker.
But
that's good.
But I think this is one of the strongest songs that we've seen from them since then. And I honestly, the singles that really didn't resonate with me as singles kind of fit a lot better in the album. Love Me to Heaven and No Time to Talk, those tracks make a lot more sense on the album. I like the title track, Greetings from Your Hometown. I think that is another very catchy track, kind of reminiscent of, different sonically, but written in a similar way that I Can't Lose is written, where it's just saying the song title over and over at you, and it's catchy as shit. I can't even lie to you. It's catchy.
Formula.
I do think the first half of this record is somewhat solid, but it is a case of just kind of, there's a lot here and not a lot that I ultimately come away with. I wanted to enjoy it more than I did, but I do think that this is one of the stronger things that we've gotten post hiatus for sure. But it's still like, we're fucking tier listing albums that are all timers to, you know, stuff down here that's like CD tier when you've got like 3 S tier records in a row. You know, it's definitely a huge quality drop. I'm looking here, or the last thing I listened to on my desktop Spotify was a track off a little bit longer. Shout out that record. If you can't tell, I really like that one. Yeah. But I do think that there are some redeeming songs on this album. It's just, the previous records have felt a little like cringy, almost like annoying at points, and I don't really get that from this album, which is why I'm saying it's my favorite, because it's like the least offensive to my ears sonically. Like, there are moments on Happiness Begins in the album where I'm just like, I have to turn this off. It's annoying. Like Waffle House, fuck that song. If you like that, I'm sorry, fuck that song. There are just songs off those records where I'm like, this is cringe, this is annoying. This album, I didn't get that. There's just moments of this record where, like, if you put a gun to my head and asked me what Bully sounded like, I'd be like, yeah, I have no idea. You know, and that's just, I didn't even know there was a song called Bully on the album. You know, that's just it. But I do think the first half of the album is somewhat solid. I know they don't count It's About Time as an album, but technically they do have 7 records out, and in year 3000 they talk about how their 7th album will outsell Kelly Clarkson. This shit is most certainly not going to outsell Kelly Clarkson, so they are not living up to the prophecy that they foretold in the song Year 3000. But that song still bumps.
Album was the fuck. See, I thought that's why they named it the album because I was like, oh, this is the one that's gonna. Fuck, they
No.
wasted that title.
Yeah, they wasted everything on that entire rollout. They should have just waited a couple more years.
Yeah. Wow. All right.
But
Disappointment central.
they're going to be touring, crazy, supporting 20 years of the Jonas Brothers, which again, like I said at the beginning, of this. If you're watching just a clip review, there was a tour review. I went to the tour on Sunday night. That this is a victory lap for them celebrating 20 years. I appreciate their legacy. I support the legacy. I'm a huge Jonas Brothers fan. I grew up listening to them. So definitely go out and support the tour and go see it. It's a fantastic show. If it's coming near you, victory lap. If you're a Jonas Brothers fan, at any point, getting to see them, celebrate 20 years is not something that you get to see every day. So highly recommend.
It's not like you could be 20 years. You could celebrate the 20 years every year.
You can't do that. So
can't do it.
Highly recommend.